Hello there folks, today we are reviewing Honshu, which is published by Lautapelit and designer Kalle Malmioja.
It is rather abstract trick-taking map building game, but the theme is based in old Japan, and you represent noble families who try to expand their territories and are seeking for new opportunities and gaining fame.
Yeah, let's take a look at how the game works. Honshu is played over the course of 12 rounds, and each round you have trick-taking phase and then the map phase. Let's talk about the trick-taking phase first. So, starting from the first player, and at the beginning of the game, you each will get 6 cards in your hands. Starting from the first player, he will choose one of the cards from the hands. Let's say it will be this card over here. He'll put it in the center. Now, the second player will choose his cards. Based whoever is the second player, these cards are the player of the cards. So he will choose, for example, this card, and then the third player chooses this card. Now, whoever has the highest number will become the first player now. Whoever has the second highest will get the second player, and so on. Simple. Now, the benefit of the first player is that he can choose any of the revealed cards and take it into his kingdom in order to build it. Later, I'm going to talk about map phase separately. And for example, he chooses this one, the second player chooses this one, and the third player chooses this one. The interesting part about the trick-taking here as well is that, for example, this was the first player, he played out his card. He has a choice to add a resource to this card. Just takes the resource that he has in his kingdom and adds it to his card. That means that the card's value is plus 60. So it's 34 right now, plus 60 is 94. So in order for the other players to exceed his number, so they can become the first player, they need to play, first of all, at least the higher number of the cards, plus they need to put the same color resource on the card. So the first player who puts the resource down will basically seal what resource is used in this trick-taking phase, which is really cool. But now let's go to the map phase and see how the kingdom is built up. After the trick-taking phase, you will get a card into your hand. Now you can build it into your kingdom. It's really simple. You have to cover at least one square of a card. And you cannot cover lakes. You can never cover lakes, but you can put cards underneath the lakes. So you can put the card like that. You can put the card like that. Maybe even underneath. Doesn't matter of what cards you cover. At least the cards have to be connected. At least one square. Now, let's say I put the card like that. Whenever you get a newly placed card with a mine, you get the resource of that type. So this is the blue resource. And later you will use it for the scoring. And I will show you how the scoring works. And later on, when you get more cards, you will build up more and such. And you depends on what you want to score and how you want to score, you will build up. And how is your strategy and such. So let's go to the scoring so you will understand why you build up and why you need mines and factories. So just a sample for the scoring. At the end of the game, you will get a bigger kingdom. Don't worry about that. So how the scoring works. Based on this card, you will score different things. First of all, you will score forests. Each forest tile will give you 2 points. Simple. The biggest city that you have built up will give you points for each tile. For each square of a city will give you 1 point. Then the resources that were put on the factories will give you extra points. And the lakes. The first lake doesn't score you anything. But if you have a second and a third lake built next to the first lake, and so on, you will get 3 points for each one, for each square. So let's take a look at this one so you understand. First of all, the forest. You have only one forest. I will get 2 points. Now I look for the biggest city. The biggest city is here. It consists of 4 tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squares. I get 4 points. Also at the end of the game, before even scoring, you will put all the resources that you can on the matching factories, the same color. And there are also symbols for colorblind. So for example, I have this, and I don't have factory for this resource. And the first thing that you scored factories. And now you will score Each factory which has the resource will score, you see, 3 points here, 4 here, 3 here. It's a total of 10 points. And the last thing is that you will score lakes. Now, these lakes are separately. This is only 1 and 1. You will not score anything. This one has 1, 2, 3. So the first doesn't score, but the second is 3 points and the third is 3 points. So I get 6 more. And we have the total. Whoever has the most points at the end is the winner of the game. All right, so what do we think about Honshu? First of all, we talk about components as always. Components are really simple. You have simple card quality, you have wooden cubes, and you don't really need anything special for this kind of a trick-taking card game, tile-laying game. And it's a small box and it will be cheap, and there is a lot of game for that cheap price.
I agree.
Yeah.
For the small box, there's quite a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And what I know this is an aspect that is really different for different people, but I really do like that there's really many ways to score. And you kind of have to do a bit of everything, but you cannot do everything. So like either in the beginning or mid game, you will have to choose a couple of strategies that you'll try. But
yeah, you can basically score different things, but yeah, you, like Alina said, you have to do a bit of everything. Otherwise, if you only concentrate on, let's say, cities and forests, you will not win the game. The thing is that you need to adapt. So it's tactical on the other hand, because with the trick taking, you can sometimes win or lose the trick taking part, and depends what cards you will get. And if you get a certain card that you didn't want in the first place, now you need to think of what you will do with this card and how you approach your strategy in the later turns. So that's the feeling of that, doing a bit of everything, and that can be a little bit overwhelming, don't you agree?
Yes, I agree. This is the part we agree. Well, let's say like one small thing regarding like many ways to score. I personally like it. I personally like when it's hard to see everything. I like when it's hard for me to check what opponent is doing and how much does he's gonna score.
Yeah.
I like it, but many people will not like it. And
is it like a solitaire multiplayer? Then
it is
kind of.
I think it is.
I mean the planning phase where you build up your city, it's totally solitaire multiplayer.
Yes, it is.
You're not really looking what the other players want, although you can.
And this game can be overwhelming if you try to maximize every single turn. So you get a card and you want to have like a maximum out of it, or you see all the cards. For example, it's your turn to choose, and you will look at all of the cards. You will try to fit mentally here, and yeah, it can.
Yeah. Because you can.
I think it can create a block.
Yeah, because you can put the cards beneath, on top, part of it, maybe not the whole card, but basically most of it, or just a one square or something like that. And then you do that for every card. If you're AP prone player, you will do that. That's basically it for the and this is AP prone game, in my opinion, and in your opinion as well.
No, I never agree. I rarely ever agree with that.
But I would say
AP is problem of a gamer, rarely ever a game. And almost every game can be AP prone if you have an AP player.
Sort of. I mean, it depends on how many strategies and approaches you have, and how many. Like, this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle you must even the players who are not that AP prone can have that AP problem with this game. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for us. In our playing group, we do have one person who has this problem, and he had this problem in this.
He had the problem because he tried to maximize every turn.
And that's the thing. Here, it gives you all the opportunities to maximize every possible turn you have.
4 games out of 5 do that. Okay.
Depends.
So, but if you don't have that problem, or if you don't have that player, then overly there is a really small downtime, because you choose the card, the map, and then the map placing or the map phase, it's simultaneous. So you put there at the same time, and you really have time where you have to wait for the others.
Yeah, sometimes you're struggling because you didn't get the card you wanted, and then you have the new card, and then you will think of where to fit it. And then some people who are not really good with the puzzles like me, sometimes I cannot really see where can I fit this card perfectly. But on the other hand, it's not. Sometimes it's like just oh, I'm gonna fit it here because I'm gonna score points like that, so I just don't want to cover the resources, blah blah. So I can find my way out of that thinking too much. So
I'd say, like, I would compare this aspect with Five Tribes. In Five Tribes, you can try to find this one perfect turn, one perfect move, or you can just find one that you feel is okay or good enough and then do it. In this game, I never look for the perfect spot where, like, I can score everything on the map.
yeah, but there are different
I
spots where
usually
you can
try
fit things.
to put. I find the place where it's like decent, good, and then I place it. So it's totally up to the players.
I think we should definitely mention the trick-taking aspect of the game. It's interesting, it's unique. I would say it's a blend of trick-taking plus drafting mechanism of the cards. Because basically what you do, as I already told you in the overview of the game, as you saw it, you will take card, you will choose one card from the hand, then you will all reveal it one by one. You can add resources, the highest number will win. But the thing is that the highest number will choose one of the cards that are now laid in the center, which means it's rather drafting now. There's like first part of it is trick taking, where the highest number wins, and then the second part is drafting.
They should add the drafting phase here as well.
Yeah, drafting phase. Yeah, it's sort of a drafting there as well. So, and the thing about this one is that the drafting and trick taking, this basically the whole of this aspect, is different with the different player count. We played it with 4, we played it with 3 players, and we played it with 2. I would say I like it more with 4 and 3. I haven't played it with 5, but
I think it should be.
Yeah, it should be quite fine. I like how that, because there's a trick taking aspect. You want more players, but with 2, the drafting mechanism it becomes more viable, or like you can see it even more from there. Because with 2 players, what you do, you put the cards down, 2 cards from just a command pile to the center. This is the pair of cards. And now you each choose a card simultaneously and form another pair of cards. And then whoever has the highest number will choose either the first pair of cards or the second. Eventually
and then out of them you choose one card that you're gonna like place.
Eventually you will get one card, but it has more of that drafting and less, you don't feel like a trick taking anymore. You just reveal the 2 cards. Who has the highest number will get to choose the pair first. And the trick taking part just goes away from me. But it's not bad.
Yes, I would say it's this part for 2 players is really neatly done. Really neatly. It's not so much trick taking, but it's completely different.
Yeah. And it works.
And we're happy that they did not add like a dummy player, because
we don't like them.
They really work well. So it's pretty different with 2 players, but it's definitely not bad.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend if you play only 2-player games, that's a really cool game. You can play with your wife. It's not cutthroat. Otherwise, if you're not taking the cards the other player wants, that's the only thing, the interaction there. So overall, I like this game quite much. Every time we play a bigger game, after that we propose Honshu, because we don't want silly, fun, small games that much anymore. We want thinky games.
Yeah, well,
and this one feels like an easy but thinky.
It can be short, but we like the ones where we have to
think a little bit more. Yeah. So that one fits well after the bigger game as well, and although it's thinky.
When you're waiting for others.
Yeah, it takes half an hour, maybe 45 minutes if you play with more players, and there are players who think a little bit more, But overall, I like this game. I like how you can approach different strategies. I like how easy it is to learn and to teach, and that it works with different counts of players, to be honest. So, and the small package that you can take with you anywhere and play it. Although the only thing is that it's spatial. It takes quite a lot of space on your table, because if you're playing the 4-player game, you get like each one of you will get quite a big amount of like map. And it takes quite a lot of space. That's the only thing. It's not spatially, like small game, but
you can't play it on plane, for example.
Yeah, never.
Probably.
But On the other hand, really cool game. I would definitely recommend it. That's Honshu. What do you want to say about it?
Ilja already mentioned that after Essen, after each game, we kind of felt that we will propose Honshu until one moment we felt like, maybe too much. But that's actually a good sign because we wanted to play it again and again and again. And I personally absolutely love tile laying games, and especially if they do that cute with the cards. So it's absolutely 100% down my alley, and I can actually say that I absolutely love the game. Absolutely love this game.
Cool. So let's go to our dice ratings, yeah? I give this game 7 and a half dice out of 10.
I give this game 9 dice out of 10.